go to instant gratification, you will get help at this appointed time. That's a game changer, in my opinion.
Ken, but I remember you said you were experimenting with sending somebody referral who had gotten referrals their whole life, and it was a live lead from Google, and they called them, like they got a Friday afternoon, call them back on.
Oh, that was my day. It was my dad. My dad's a lawyer in New York, and I sent him a referral. I think it was a criminal case. He doesn't do criminal, but one of his colleagues. And Friday at 4 o'clock, I sent it to him. And shockingly, Monday at 10 a.m., the person was not in need of legal services anymore. It's instant gratification. And look, we all have access to inexpensive overseas labor and SaaS-based products. There should be immediate email replies asking what somebody needs with, immediately starting a conversation, making sure you further it. Look, the Calendarly concept has moved us in so many, we use it personally every day. And the idea that you go to instant gratification, you will get help at this appointed time. That's a game changer, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's huge. I wanted to ask you a little bit.
I just came up with an idea. You just gave me something.
Good.
I just got it.
Glad you. I've actually had a few of like lawyer clients who've been to your practice and say like they love it. It's like to them it's like a boiler room, but it's not a boiler room, because it's not like you guys are hard selling stocks. It's just that you have availability, because you know that if you call people back an hour later, 6 hours later, whatever, it's like there's no more, they've already found another law firm. So like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Before I move on, that boiler room, which was my intake room, ironically is no more. It's sad. It's a sign of the times. We went from 12 people in-house to 24 people around the country and around the globe, for about the same budget. And the idea being that we no longer have that. And in some senses, I miss it. But in some senses, all the workplace drama gone. It's really amazing how there are pieces. And like, don't get me wrong, our agency is now a hybrid. We were fully in-house, and now we have a clubhouse with a lot of people working remotely. And it's challenging. And I think there's some huge negatives to it, but there's some huge positives. When you get those A players and they're able to work in isolation, they can do some amazing things.
Yeah, that's wild to me, especially too, because I was listening to a guy named John Jonas about 16 years ago who was saying like you could hire Filipinos and like you can have virtual assistants, and I was all aboard that train. And it's really interesting for me is like I've told a few lawyers about this 5 or 6 years ago, and didn't really get received so well. And then all of a sudden in the last 3 years, I've had like an influx of clients who are suddenly like gone completely remote, as you have done. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about.
But COVID did it. I mean, look, if you're in a blue state, we didn't have a choice. COVID was real in blue states. We were DC, the government's still not back to work. There's nobody downtown on a given workday in DC. The world has changed. And if I want to get a person to DC, this is the other piece, which works for both the law firm and the agency, which is when I force people in an urban environment. If you're in Columbus, Ohio, I'm just making that as a location, people can commute and park at the building, great. For somebody to come to our old office, you'd pay for parking. Like they'd pay for a metro, they'd commute 30 to hour or more. But the average commute was 45 minutes plus. We just gave everybody an hour and a half a day back of their lives, no cost. And all of a sudden, just by going virtual, there's a raise. Now, look, are people speeding rules and doing all sorts of nonsense? I'm sure, but they were doing it in the office too.
Yeah.
So, we have, back in the day when I first started the agency, there were guys trading Adderall in the back room. I mean, crazy. So, look, now they're just trading Adderall at home, not in my office. So it's only them that's affected, not the other 3 people they're giving it to. That would help us.
That's wild. Adderall back room. I'm gonna remember that. It kind of reminds me of what Michael Mogul said about like once he built his team, he found like as they were growing too fast, like he had team and staff leaving, and he said so he decided to like have a sponsored lunch just to take one of those things, thinking it would make everything better because he would show his team he appreciated them. And instead, all of a sudden, like this person's got a peanut allergy, and then this person over here can't eat seafood, and I need it.
But you know what? 2 things. I have not heard that story, but Michael and I chat late night a lot during billing of our businesses, and that business mind is second to none. It's really pretty amazing. And it is a business saying, a book that I have not written, but someday Frankie will help me produce. And it's a number of truisms, which is, and one of those truisms is no good deed goes unpunished, and that goes under that, right?
Yeah.
You can't teach common sense, and money solves almost every problem, or some of my axioms that I go by. But I can see that. You're so excited to have a meal, and all of a sudden it's like, are you paying for parking? What about my peanut allergy? What about this? And look, they're all real things, but like you don't deal with those otherwise.
Yeah.
So look, and it is those things and getting to know your people that will get you to that next level, but it's not easy. We did a client appreciation event, and just getting butts in seats. We did our new radio station sponsor, clients, lawyers, getting butts in seats, not easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort that goes, people have a lot of stuff going on. We think a lot of ourselves. We think a lot of our law firm. I wanted to get butts in seats to have this client appreciation dinner. And you know what? A lot less people showed than, it was a full room, but that included dates and law firm people and all sorts of other stuff. But it's a lot of effort to do those things and to do it right. When people are appreciative. I'll segue for a minute. I'm going to share a story. We were planning our firm. We do twice a year at least. We do firm all hands on deck meetings called Agency Day. And we were doing, what should we do on the night between the first and second day? And the day is filled with breakout groups and team building activities. And we had a choice for almost the same price point of doing an activity like ping pong at a luxury ping pong place, if that exists, right? There's ball boys, there's gourmet drinks, there's food, but the food's, deluxe chicken fingers. It's not like it's gourmet food, that Top Golf, right? Top Golf, I'm sure. Yeah. And then the final one being dinner at one of the nicest locations in the city, in my opinion. Joe Stone Crab is a licensee in DC. And to me, a beautiful dinner of appreciation in a place that most people would only go if somebody else was paying, would be like amazing. And it would show us, we have an awards ceremony, we do all these things, we really cool. And the conventional wisdom was no activity, keep people doing stuff, which to me is why the Top Golfs of this world and the escape rooms and the axe throwers are doing so well, because you don't want to sit around at a table stuck there. I get that. But I also wanted to show deeply my appreciation and do something over the top, which price-wise isn't even over the top compared to these other things, because these activities get it, and they really charge significantly for that when you're getting chicken wings or some like C-grade fajitas. But it's just interesting how my thought, I'm sure it's similar to the Michael story, what he thought would be really important to people probably wasn't as much as what people actually wanted, which was do something carefree rather than sitting down at a dinner.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll probably also like our free Facebook group, Beyond Agency Profits, Agency Lifestyle Design. You can get free copies of the book inside here. I look ridiculous. We're doing weekly Q&As, giving answers to all your questions. Some of the best, smartest, brightest people. We've got lots of industry leaders doing 7, 8 figures and beyond. It's a literal who's who of the brightest agency owners that I know, as well as lots of tips on scaling and stuff, books that work. So if you're not already part of it, you're going to want to be part of it. So make sure to click the link. I put it in the description of the video as well as in the pinned top comment below. So just scroll down and you can join, and it's totally free.